What do you guys think was your favorite excursion this semester?
Oh boy.
I'd say my favorite excursion was probably Berlin.
Berlin, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
That
It
was
was
fun.
it was nice to be there for a weekend and then like see the whole city and like go on the tour, see the parliament, go on the street art tour. It was just really beautiful and very big.
Yeah, and there were planned things for us to do, which I thought was nice. So that was organized,
Yeah.
but then there was also so much free time that we got to
Yeah.
go and explore whatever we found the most interesting.
The day after we got here, we just had that day to ourselves. So like, you didn't have to feel like you were so structured. You could do whatever you want, giving you the freedom to do what you want.
The place we stayed was really nice, and
Yeah.
like it was comfy, and there was breakfast every morning. So
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
And it's pretty close to everything too, so you don't have to worry about taking a bus or train to get food.
I also think the excursions, even the business excursions, were really nice to kind of
Yes.
get a different perspective on the business world.
Yes.
So although they might have not have been the most exciting Berlin type trip that we went on, it was still pretty cool to get to go and see a different business environment than what we're used to in the U.S.
Because I think the Audi was my second favorite.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
tour the
Yeah.
Audi factory. Yeah.
Was that the one where we saw the cars get made?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that was really interesting because I've never seen a car in the process of from the beginning to the end, and so it was really interesting to actually see people work too.
I enjoyed SAP because I felt like that was like the people that were there like wanted us to be there, and they like informed us, and it wasn't just like lecturing at us. It was more of like an interaction with us.
Yeah, overall, I think the ESC does a really good job of finding interesting trips for us to do, and it gives you something to look forward to. Every Wednesday, there's an exciting new something to go and see, and it's structured for you, so you don't have to really do anything other than just show up and learn, which is it's really convenient.
I agree. Did you guys take any awesome like trips by yourself?
What do you think, Ashlyn? What was your favorite?
well, it was really cool when being in Germany that you can choose. You know, do you want to fly somewhere? Do you want to take a train? Do you just want to take a bus? You know, just whatever your mood is, and you can either do like day trips.
That was nice.
But I think if I had to say a really cool trip I didn't think I was going to take was when I went to Belgium or Amsterdam. Didn't realize how close they were, and we took there was like a student service that works around in Europe. Yeah, and you can just take it and they drive a bus through the night, and then you get there, enjoy the day, and then you come back. Or you take the long weekend trips, and I think my favorite was when I went to Copenhagen and Sweden to visit family.
Yeah.
How about you?
Favorite trip? That's a tough one. Maybe Spain or Paris. Those are probably. I loved Paris. It was always like a dream to go there, and it lived up to the expectation and the hype. But like you said, we just took a bus through the night, and it's super reasonably priced. And you can find hostels. Everyone kind of said, be wary of hostels and make sure that you're super safe when you go to them. But I had nothing but a great experience at all of them. They're really hip and young, and it's a way to meet people in the city that you're in. So yeah, all the hostels are, like I said, you can pay like 10 euros a night to stay in the middle of Paris in like a really cool area and meet young people, which I thought was really
nice. You just find it through websites like Hostel World.
Yeah.
I find
It's
like
really simple.
when you travel, like now since we're so young, if you go to like hotels, you're not going to meet anyone. That's why like I've always stayed in hostels when I travel and never had any bad experiences with them.
I think when I went to Italy.
You went alone too. That was like your first.
I went to Italy alone, and that was probably the weirdest, coolest interaction I've ever had. The hostels I stayed at were €5 a night, so they're like what you expect for €5 a night. I mean, it wasn't bad. I met awesome people from Berlin. I met people from Amsterdam, all over the world, and so that was really cool. I took a bus, as everybody else said. I took a bus that night. Got to sit next to a guy who talked my ear off. Granted, I got to Florence at 7 a.m. with no sleep, but it was okay. So I enjoyed it. I recommend everybody to go to Italy. So
yeah, and I think I speak on behalf of like a group, majority of the group. This is the first time that we're all traveling independently for the first time, and the ESC does a really good job of helping you if you can't figure out. Help me figure out the train times because I don't know how to work the train system, or what's the easiest way to get to Frankfurt because that's the closest airport that we can fly in and out of. They do a really good job of helping you, and I think all of us can say that we're a lot more confident now in traveling independently, and it's not as scary as it might sound.
Going back to hostels, I why I love hostels so much, especially, was even like 2 weeks ago when I was in London. Because me and all my friends were separated, we were in each other's rooms, and we ended up meeting people there that like we keep in contact with, that we plan on meeting up with again. And like I've had that in other hostels too, where I met people and I still am in contact with them, and it's just like it's wonderful. It's a great way
To meet people, yeah, and learn from other cultures. It's really cool.
What was your favorite?
What was your favorite?
Oh, what, self-excursion?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's probably while everybody went outside of Germany. I find there's a lot of cool places inside Germany too.
Yeah.
For example, while the excursions are great, you don't really get to see as much as East Germany. Yes, you get to go to Berlin, but that's kind of its own thing now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like the states of Saxony and Saxony-Anhalt, and you also have these cool little villages which remind you of pretty much these little Christmas villages.
Yeah.
And if you come in the winter, there's so much snow there. You could ski, hike in the snow.
Yeah.
It pretty much looks like a fairy tale almost.
Oh yeah, another thing that I could add is when you before coming here, you're thinking about everywhere you want to travel to, but like you said before, don't plan ahead, like don't plan trips ahead of time, especially because once you get here and you make friends, like you all end up making plans together and going on group trips, and like if you plan something ahead of time, then it's kind of hard to work with everyone.
But I do recommend making maybe a list of certain maybe like locations you've always dreamed of and ideas you want to go to, because you get here and you realize there are so many places you can visit, and so when you just kind of set out goals, it makes it motivational and it's encouraging, and it's definitely, because sometimes it goes by so fast.
Going off of that, but don't be discouraged when you don't go to all those places.
Yeah, like I said, I was gonna say that.
You don't, like, I made a list before I came here, me and my friend that I came with, and we didn't hit all the places, but we're totally okay with that, because you're not going to. You're only here for how long, especially for the summer groups and stuff.
And Heidelberg has lots to do. So it's not like you're going to be stuck at some place that you want to constantly be seeing somewhere else. There are lots of things to do here, and fun times to have. So if you stay, some weekends here, some weekends not here, but
there's lots to do in the state too that you can take day trips, like Freiburg, Stuttgart, Strasbourg.
So basically, just have ideas of where you want to go. Just don't pick the dates.
Yeah, exactly.
Leave the dates out.
Exactly.